Welcome to Nintendo Ninja News. I'm your host, Chris Tysus, and we are here to talk about the game Tiny Barbarian DX. And it's a pretty cool game, it's a pretty interesting game, but we're going to be showing off some of the screenshots that I took while playing the game, and I'll give you my thoughts and things, and I will give it a rating. I know that in the past that we've said we're not really for review ratings, and I say sort of don't take too heavily into the actual review rating number. You do need to read the content in order to understand where the final result comes from. So let's get going and let's see what Tiny Barbarian DX has to offer for the Nintendo Switch. Tiny Barbarian DX was an interesting game when I first saw it, and it's obviously sort of a 2D pixelated sort of hack and slash running through levels and things like that. And I felt like the game sort of captured that idea of being a barbarian, jotting along these different worlds and that. And I was really impressed by just some of the little cute animations and that, the barbarian doing his muscles and things like that. And of course they call it flexing on YouTube. And I felt like that sort of gameplay was good. I was impressed by the great opening music that came up, because I actually got caught off guard, because I wasn't too sure if I actually literally jumped into the main game and fighting off all these, skeletons and little creatures and that. And then once I died, it comes up with the title screen, which I felt like was a pretty cool thing. So I like that. That was a nice little start. Looking at the game itself, the AI is pretty good. The different levels are really great. The different environments that you get to play and muck around with. I also was very, very interested in some of the little puzzles and things like that that I explored. There was definitely some difficult sections that frustrated me, but like every good game, a good game is when you get frustrated, you do a bit of a controller rage throw, and then you pick it up a couple minutes later because you want to keep on going with it. So I think there's definitely some points in Tiny Barbarian where that sort of feeling is there. And it's a game that keeps on wanting you to come back for more. Now, some of the levels are a bit long, and I was sort of sitting around going, I wonder when I'm going to get to the end. But they're quite good in the end. Some of the other things that was really interesting about the game was the different animations and things like that in the worlds that I sort of highlighted on. And I really enjoyed it. The world with the spikes in it was pretty cool. Jumping on the swings and things like that was pretty awesome. I liked some of the background stuff for the moon that I saw. And just, yeah, it's a really good platformer in terms of sort of giving you different options to solve things and that. But yeah, I like the enemies. The little snakes were cool. The AI is pretty smart actually at times. There was a couple enemies that I got tripped up on. I had to sort of rethink about what I needed to do in order to overcome it. And I felt generally the game was quite nice, and I was impressed by it all. And I think it was a great little game. The movement was good. The AI is good. Good skills in the game that you probably is required. I've heard that the game is sort of shortish, but that's okay. I think the price is fine for what it is. I think it's in a good sweet spot here in Australia. I don't think it should be any more than it. I think they picked out a really good thing for that. So I think in the end, it's a great little 2D platformer. I was impressed by it. I thought it was pretty good. I think people will enjoy it for a fun little romp, being a barbarian going through this sort of 2D world. So I think it's good. I think it's quite good. So we'll return you back to the Nintendo Ninja News desk for the final mark and see what happens. We'll see you there. So, Tiny Barbarian DX for the Nintendo Switch. I was impressed by it. I thought it was pretty good. And I had a good fun time for at least a couple of hours. I was getting into it, jumping around, and it's a good hack and slash. It's a good, I wouldn't say it's a good game for 3 to 5 minutes, but it's a good, like, 15, 20 minutes sort of, power through during your break or something like that. Or if you don't have a lot of time to play games, this is a nice little game to have just to muck around with. And I would say that I would give it a 7.5 out of 10. That's a pretty good score, and I think that it's a good game. I would recommend it if you're into 2D pixels and good music and a bit of hack and slash fun. And it's pretty fun playing around as the Tiny Barbarian. So hopefully people enjoy the review. A review format is a bit like, chatting to a mate or a friend and sort of saying, oh, it's got this and this, and I like this and I didn't like that. And it's really just one person's opinion. But it'll be interesting to see what people think of Tiny Barbarian for the Nintendo Switch. So that's it for me, and I shall see you later on.